Today we're going to talk about step 5, and there are few steps that are more ego-deflating than step 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrong. I don't know about you, but when I started writing my 4th step, things just started pouring out of me, things that were long forgotten, things that I buried, things that I just glossed over. It really made me stop and look at myself when I saw it on paper, what I had become. And then step 5 comes along and says, now I got to tell somebody else about my problems? Why can't I just go pray about it and tell God? You have to do that part too, but the idea with telling another person is you get the benefit of feedback. You get the benefit of looking at your life through somebody else's eyes. And you see that a lot of the things that we do are done because we were sick, other ones because we were misguided. Some days we did some good stuff. It'd be a poor day indeed if we haven't done something right. So by telling another human being, we get the benefit of somebody else's experience who's further down the recovery road than we have been. There's few steps that are more ego-deflating than this, because to bare your soul, to bare your dirty laundry out to somebody else, it's really difficult. So I was raised never telling yourself, your friends won't trust you. Now they tell me I have to tell them myself. I was scared to death. Like, what if they use this against me? That's why it's so important to make sure you're really grounded. You're grounded in step 3, right? You know, with that God of your understanding. You're grounded that you pick the right person, whether it be a sponsor, maybe a clergy person, maybe your doctor, maybe your psychiatrist, maybe just a close friend, but someone who really you can trust to keep a confidence. I remember when I did my 4th step, and I hit a point that was a stumbling point, I started seeing that a lot of my behaviors repeated over time. My sponsor, who I did my 5th step with, pointed it out to me. Say, like, you can see this over and over again. This is one of your go-to things. When things get tough, you shortcut. When things get tough, you BS people. This is what you do, he goes, and if you want to stay sober, that's never going to work. So I sat down with my sponsor, and I did my 5th step with him. But I had one thing on my 5th step. Now, this man, I trusted implicitly. He helped save my life. His story wasn't much different than mine. But I had a few things that, quite frankly, I was going to take to the grave with me. I was never going to tell anybody. I just wasn't going to share them. That was it. I wasn't going to do it. So after I did my 5th step, I started feeling nauseous. I started feeling crappy. Over time, over the next couple of weeks, I started realizing that if I didn't dump this stuff, now that I said I was in all the way, I'm going all the way with these 12 steps, and then I hang on to this, I would probably relapse. I didn't want to tell my sponsor. Not that now I know he wouldn't have judged me, but back then I was so afraid, I was so sick, I didn't understand this, and I got on real shaky turf. I thought I was going to drink for a while. One day I went to an AA meeting in a place called the Abbey. It's an old Abbey up in Newton, New Jersey. And I walked in there and I was feeling mighty low, and I'm carting around this baggage, and a priest stands up in the middle of this meeting and he says, hey, welcome. I want to say hi to everybody. I'm going to meet you one time. I'm here on vacation. I'm heading back to Venezuela on the next plane out of here about an hour after we leave. I was like, that's my guy. I grabbed him after the meeting. I said, can I talk to you? And I dumped the rest of my 5th step on him, and he took it to Venezuela with him. And he said to me, what are you worried about? God forgives you, and I forgive you. Nothing's that horrible. And I understand now what he was talking about. That was my own fear, my own insecurity. People would think less of me. People wouldn't like me. My sponsor would think I was less of a man, whatever the case may be. But you know what? It was my own sickness, because since then, I've heard hundreds of 5th steps. I don't judge anybody. Go ahead, shock me. Shock me. I'm an alcoholic, I'm an addict. If I haven't done it, I probably know somebody who's done it. So the idea is you're only as sick as your secrets. So when you get that 4th step and you find somebody you can trust, no matter if you give it piecemeal like I did, or you sit down with one confidant and you dump your stuff, the important thing is you dump it. You get rid of it. You work on it and you move forward.